Game faces on.
Oh, please do
Good
the timer.
good morning, everyone, and welcome to this another meeting 563 of Blue Quest. I am your sergeant at arms for today, and you are now inside the code of conduct of a Toastmasters meeting. As such, a few rules apply to all of you. Before I state the rules, I would like to state the club mission statement. And our club mission statement reads as: we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. I would also like to apprise you of our core values in Toastmasters, that is integrity, respect, service, and excellence. So thank you very much for being here, first of all, on this winter morning in India. Winter is just setting in, and my wife insisted that I put on this because roaming around in the house in half sleeves gives the wrong impression to the kids, and they also want to roam around in half sleeves. God, I miss being a kid. But like I said, you are now inside the code of conduct of a Toastmasters meeting. Please be advised that the meeting is being recorded and it may not be possible to pause the recording. The meeting rules. Audience, please be advised that any behavior that disturbs the flow of the meeting will result in removal from the meeting room without any warning. Second, please ensure that your noise-making devices are either switched off or on the silent mode. Please speak responsibly on topics that involve religion, sex, or politics. As far as possible, please keep your videos on, your audio off, and applause flowing throughout. Be the kind of audience for others that you would like to have for yourself. Speaking of applause, I was recently at a Toastmasters meeting in Bangalore, and those guys knew how to applause. They were using emoticons like mad. Every word I said or every sentence I said, I got something like a clap or a heart or and not just me, every speaker. So please make sure that you keep the applause flowing throughout. Please ensure a smart audio video check before you hand over to respective role players. Role players, rename yourself as role player hyphen your name hyphen your club. You may omit the club name if you are a member of Blue Quest. Please acquaint yourself with the role of the timer. Our timer today is Hope Williams. Hope, will you be using background change or will you be sharing your screen?
I will be using background changes, and unfortunately for all the members, you will not be seeing my face because my whole screen will be complementary to the color of the time. And I have not left the meeting, so we can take that off. Okay. Thank you, Rupi.
Yeah, we're going to miss you, on the screen. But the timer will use background change to indicate timing one of the three cards. Green means that you have reached the minimum qualifying time. Yellow indicates it's a good time to start concluding, and red specifies that you have 30 seconds or more or you will be disqualified. Individual session timings will be explained in due course. We encourage you to use Zoom emoticons generously to encourage our role players. We sincerely request you not to send chat messages to everyone, and definitely not to the speaker who's speaking on the stage. In fact, refrain from chatting altogether and focus on the speaker. Reiterating, please stay on mute until specifically requested to unmute. Polls will be launched after each section and they will be closed after 30 seconds. And with that, I will now hand you over to our presiding officer, who has a delectable surprise for us. And that is, I think, centered around a contest. I don't know what it is, but right now I'm going to hand you over to Sumit Juneja, who will take the meeting from here. Sumit, you're on.
Thank you, Rupender. Thank you for letting us know the rule of the game. We have, I welcome all the guests to the meeting number 563. I see we have with us Diana. We have with us Neet Brian, and we have Deepika Sohal with us today. Welcome to the meeting number 563 of BlueQuest. Thank you for joining. We have certain announcement today, and it's a surprise that it's a delectable thing that Rupinder has said, that we have so many contest district level contest player speaker with us today. We have Elisa, Hope, and Anna going for this division level contest. Hope and Elisa is going for the contest on this Thursday, Friday our time, and Elisa and Anna is going on.
It's the other way around. Hope and Elisa are on Saturday, Sunday our time, and Anna is Thursday, Friday our time.
Right. So Anna is on Thursday and Friday our time. Elisa and Hope are going this Saturday, which is Sunday our time. So we would share the details also on the group, WhatsApp group. Rupinder is also going for a club contest tomorrow. So please do join, and we will share the details in the group. With this, I would like to hand over the stage to our Toastmaster of the day, Elisa, and she has a very sweet topic today, desserts. Please join me in welcoming our Toastmaster of the day, Elisa Schneider. Over to you, Elisa.
Thank you so much, Sumit, and thank you to each one of you who have dropped in for this meeting. Do you have an insatiable desire for dessert? Now, I know it's early in the morning for those of you who joined from India, but isn't dessert the best part of the day? Isn't that maybe the way you could start this day? Because after all, stressed is dessert spelled backwards. And what better way to unstress and start your fabulous day with a little bit of dessert? Now, we have a lot of ground to cover this morning, but before we get into all the roles and the tag teams, we're going to start off with a little warm-up quiz. I will show you a dessert, and I'm going to ask you to type in the chat where you think this dessert is from. We're going to start with an easy one, and then we'll go from there. So if you would, please prepare your keyboards, because we're going to be zooming across the world, and we'll see who gets it right. In fact, we're going to have this competition at the end of our session. We'll count up, keep track of how many you got right, and we'll see who got the most correctly, and we'll announce it at the end. Excellent. Are we ready for the very first one? Here we go. This one's easy. Where do you think this dessert is from? Okay, someone said France. France. Anybody else? Excellent. And if you said France, then you are correct. You can mark yourself off for one right. The soufflé au chocolat, or the chocolate soufflé, is an exquisite French dessert that combines dark chocolate with a creamy egg yolk base and fluffy egg whites. Just like other soufflé varieties, the chocolate version is also considered to be technically challenging. Watch out if you bake this. You want to get it right. Next up, we have, let's do one more. Ooh, a little tricky. What about this one? Azur. Any guesses? It looks like oatmeal for breakfast, but it's not. Someone said American. Turkey. If you don't know, you can give it just a random guess, not a problem. Greece, Spain. Excellent guesses. Greek, excellent guess. Okay, is that everyone? If you said turkey, then you were correct. Great job. Azure or Noah's pudding is often said to be one of the oldest desserts in the world, combination of fruits, nuts, and beans. According to Islamic tradition, when Muslims break the fast of Muharram, this Turkish porridge is shared among family, friends, and neighbors as a symbol of diversity, friendship, and unity. Before moving on, let's try one final one, because now that we've gotten warmed up, let's see how you do. And the next one is, please don't ask me to pronounce this. I'm gonna go with smackager. It almost sounds like we're smacking someone, but I'm sure that's not part of the dessert. Germany, France, Sweden, Mexico, okay, great. Well, if you said Denmark, then you were correct. Usually prepared with wheat flour, mostly incorporates ingredients such as chocolate, marzipan, dry fruits, different flavorings, and nuts. And even though they are enjoyed all year round, these treats are an indispensable part of Christmas tradition in Denmark. Industrially produced varieties are usually sold as Christmas gifts. Excellent job, everybody. I hope you've gotten warmed up and an insatiable appetite for not just desserts, but for the next section of our meeting, where we will be introducing the tag team players. They are an exquisite aspect of our meeting, necessary to help us stay on top of our game, and for this dessert to be a fabulous, fabulous combination. First, we'd like to call up the timer for today. And as timer, we have Hope Williams. Over to you, Hope, to explain your role.
Thank you, Elisa. I have an insatiable desire to explain my role as timer this morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are in the world. My role as timer is very important. I am here to keep time of all speakers in all ways and forms. Therefore, all of our prepared speeches will be between 5 to 7 minutes. At the 5-minute mark, all speakers will see a green placard without me in the frame. At 6 minutes, you will then see a yellow or amber, depending on what country you would like to be in. And at 7 minutes, you will see the red placard, which means wrap it up. With table topics, we have between 1 to 2 minutes to answer questions. Therefore, at 1 minute, you will see the green. At 1 minute, 30 seconds, you will see the yellow or amber. And at 2 minutes, you will see the red placard without me in the frame. I am looking forward to an insatiable time-taking evening, morning, or afternoon. Therefore, I will turn control of the meeting back to our sweet Elisa to continue the flow of our meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hope, for that outstanding report on the time. We will be observant, because just like with any recipe, if you overcook, you've overdone it, and it might not taste the same. Now, next, I'd like to call on our accountant for this morning, and we have for this role our delectable Surindra Bhomik. Over to you, Surindra.
Thank you, Alyssa. And since Hope has already done the preambles, I can only get to say that my role today is of the accountant. And what is an accountant? Many a times, we want to say something, but the thought is in our mind, it doesn't come to our lips, and we are unable to deliver what we are thinking. And therefore, we stammer, or at those times, we start putting in filler words. Filler words are very general words like you know, I know, so, and such words, which are actually used to fill up that gap when the mind is still trying to process what it wants to say. And therefore, it becomes an impediment when we are speaking. My effort today would be to look at such words which we normally use as filler words or crutch words, and then present it at the end of the meeting when I'm called on by the general evaluator. Over to you. Thank you, Elissa.
Thank you so much, Surendra. And last but not least, as we watch our ahs and ums to make sure this is an excellent meeting, we are going to call on our grammarian for this morning, Pratima, to explain her role. Over to you, Pratima.
Thank you, Elisa. Good morning to you and good morning to everyone. I am playing the role of the grammarian today, and the word of the day for the theme today is insatiable, which is an adjective or a describing word. It means always wanting more or not able to be satisfied with regards to an appetite, desire, or thirst. Let's understand this word more with an example. Her desire for knowledge was insatiable. Let's see one more example. She had an insatiable curiosity for life. I shall be making use of the word of the day, usage, and as a grammarian, I shall also be noting down the sweet and the not so sweet usage of grammar today. And at the end of the session, I shall be submitting my report when called upon. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Pratima. And a quick apology because we have our GE present with us, Sumit Juneja, who would usually have introduced the role players. I apologize, Sumit. I did not realize there was a role change. Thank you for your understanding. And now we will move forward into our prepared speeches, which might we say they are the dessert of the meeting. So why not start with desserts first? We're going to have our prepared speeches, then we'll have our table topic presentation where guests or members can participate. And finally, we will have our evaluations. All of these are what make up our course menu for today, but let's start with desserts first. And let's call on stage our dear Rupinder Singh, who will be presenting a speech entitled Don't Get Mad, Don't Get Even, from the Path Motivational Strategies. He's presenting level 1, and his project is evaluation and feedback, where he's going to present this speech, receive feedback, and then give a second speech to incorporate said feedback. The evaluator for Rupinder's speech will be Khushbu Chokani, and we will call her on stage later. Having said that, I invite you to welcome Rupinder Singh on the stage with his speech entitled Don't Get Mad, Don't Get Even. Over to you, Rupinder.
Rupinder, this is not working out. We need to talk. No, that wasn't my ex. That was my boss in an email. Madam Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and very distinguished guests. Imagine giving your best effort and receiving the worst possible feedback on it. Yep, that was the kind of day I was having. You see, I was a product manager, and part of my job was to write proposals for the sales team who would then forward it to the client. I got a project. It was a simple localization project. And you know how localization projects go? You have to get a given piece of content translated or localized to another language. In this case, the language was French. And usually, in such kind of proposals, the more the number of words, the lesser we charge the client. There's not much to do. Maximum 1-page long proposal. That's it. And that's exactly what I sent to my sales team. Of course, I added information about our company and how we are the next best thing since sliced bread as far as localization is concerned, and how we've got top-notch French translators and blah, 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 blah. It was about 3 pages long. I got an email from the sales team and their feedback: this proposal is not long enough. What? How is it not long enough? I tried to make it as long as possible. Now, according to them, the kind of proposals that they were used to had to be 10 pages long. How do I make a document that is 3 pages long, 10 pages long? I wrote them back. Look, the client is simply asking for information. All you have to do is forward this proposal to them, and that's it. They reverted. Rupinder, we want a proposal that is 10 pages long. Your next email better have that proposal, or else there'll be consequences. 10 pages long, right? So I did the most genius thing I could think of. I added 10 blank pages to the proposal. And I sent them, here is a 13-page proposal for you. Hope this helps. It did not. They escalated it to my manager, which resulted in that email that this is not working out. We need to talk. And so there I was sitting in front of the manager, and I was yelling at him that why was he taking their side? My manager said, why are you picking up a fight that you do not want to get involved in? Why are you getting involved in this witless battle? Can you send them a proposal that is 10 pages long? I can. Okay, just send me a draft. Done. Then I did the next best thing. They wanted 10 pages of content. I went back, took my original proposal, blew the font size up to 30. It was now 11 pages long. And I sent it to my boss. Here you go. Now, I did not hear from my boss for the next 2 days. A week went by. I didn't know what happened. My boss never talked about it. And then one day, I got a call from him. We need to talk. I knew it was about the proposal. I was prepared for it. I gathered everything, the email chain. I also printed out my resignation letter if it came to that. I practiced every scenario in my head. My boss was going to say this, I was going to answer with that. And I was ready to defend myself. As I walked to his room, he was talking to someone else. I waited outside, still practicing the answers in my head. Practicing how I was right, how the sales team was wrong, how we should not always bow to every wish and command of the sales team. And then he called me. I sat down. He looked at me very pensively. There was an awkward, pregnant silence that was not at all insatiable. 2 minutes of looking at each other. And then he said, good job on the proposal. What? Good job on the proposal. Okay, this is not something I was prepared for. I was prepared to answer his criticism. I was not prepared to answer his praise. Turns out, my boss directly reached out to the client and sent him my 3-page proposal, and that got accepted. In short, he overrode the sales team and straight away reached out to the client. Ha. And then my boss gave me an earful. You know what your problem is? You try to play the other person at their game. It is their game. You will always lose. First, you got mad. Then you tried to get even. It does not work like that. Don't get mad. Don't get even. Change the game. Wisest words I have ever heard. Today, when I look back at that incident, I realize how much sense it makes. Fellow Toastmasters, every day we involve ourselves in petty struggles. We think that our ego is more important than the job at hand. We think that our need to be right is more important than to understand. All we are doing is either getting mad or getting even. And my advice, don't get mad. Don't get even. Change the game. Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Rupi, for sharing that outstanding speech and giving us some food for thought, maybe some dessert. Let's take a minute on the clock and give Rupinder our feedback. What did you observe in his speech that you appreciated? Do you have any recommendations for him? Remember, you can always use the sandwich presentation, commendation, recommendation, commendation. 1 minute, please.
1 minute starting now. One minute completed.
Thank you so much, Hope. Well, I'm not going to get mad with any of you, but I might get even by having you guess at a few more desserts before we go on to topics. Let's see if you can guess correctly about these insatiable desserts. I know, it's getting a little old typing in the chat, but it's fun to see what you've presented. And then at the end, we can have our summation and see who won. Next dessert, next up is, oh, please forgive me. I'm gonna slaughter this, but I'm gonna say either Kher or Kheer. Who thinks they know where this dessert is from? I've got 3 Indias, 4 Indias. It's a lot of Indias. Okay, India. Well, it turns out that Kheer or Kher Payasam is an ancient Indian dessert. Well done to you all. A creamy rice pudding that is made in several versions across the country. Common dish for Indian ceremonies, festivals, and celebrations. Of course, all of you from India know this. It's just we Americans who need to be reminded. And apparently it's made from boiling rice, wheat, or tapioca with milk and sugar, and can be additionally flavored with dried fruits, nuts, cardamom, and saffron. Now I'm getting hungry. It is believed that this dessert originated 2,000 years ago in the Lord Jagannath temple in Orissa. If any of you from India have any information to the contrary, do let me know, but this is what I found. And one more. Oh, this one's tough, but it's delicious. How about Cernik? I mean, if you ask me, that's really cheesecake. They've just renamed it and taken over. But what would you say is the country of origin? We've got Czech Republic, Greek, Polish, Greece. Okay. Well, turns out that if you guessed Poland, then you were correct. Stemming from old and Christian and Jewish traditions, it is made with eggs, sugar, and twaróg. type of curd cheese that has been used in desserts for hundreds of years. I would have to look into it more to know if cheesecake originated in Poland. I'd like to know, but there is that chance. That was a new fact for me. And last but not least, this one's really, really difficult. Please, please do try your best. Any guesses? Saudi Arabia, okay. America, Canada, okay, perfect. I see Anna Whistler has refrained. I think that she knows way too well where it's from. No? Okay, because it is from the US, but did you know how it's made? It's actually, this is really terrible for any of you Jell-O eaters. If you didn't know this, I'm so sorry for ruining it for you. But Jell-O is actually made by extracting the collagen from the boiled bones of animals. And I once found out that years ago, they started by doing this with horse bones, after which it took me a long time to go back to ever eating Jell-O. Now I've understood that they have some other ingredient they use for that, and I'm eating Jell-O again. But it was invented in 1897 by Pearl Waite, who experimented with gelatin and then flavored it with fruit, different fruit flavors. But yes, that is where Jell-O came from. I'm sure you're delighted to know that. Fun fact for you all. Now, not only do we had our first dessert, but what if we just make the whole course of today desserts? Because I would like to think that table topics is another dessert all in of its own. And for this, we have Anna Whistler, who's going to lead us in an outstanding and delectable table topic session. Over to you, Anna.
Thank you so much, Elisa. I'm totally devastated about Jell-O now. It's a good thing I don't eat that much of it, but now I know something. I do have table topics this evening. I have some great questions, and of course, they're all centered around our theme. So to start us off, cake or frosting? What is the best part? Let's go to a meat. Cake or frosting? Which is the best part and why? Meat, are you there? Oh, there you go.
Am I audible? Am I visible?
Yes and yes.
Okay. So what is the best part? The cake or the frosting? If you had asked this to me 15 years ago, my answer would have probably been the frosting all over the cake. But now, with increased awareness on diet as well as diet and just general awareness, my answer slowly and steadily has changed to the actual cake being my favorite in a day, in a dessert. To complement that fact, it really helps that my mom cooks some amazing cake, which kind of leaves me with an insatiable desire to have cakes always. And that would be it for me. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
Awesome, thank you. I would completely agree. I'm a cake person. Frosting is not necessary. All right. Deanna, I am going to give you your question so you can start putting it in the chat, okay? All right, Deanna. How often should you eat dessert? That's your question. How often should you eat dessert? All right, while she is working on that part, I'm going to go with our next question. As a kid, I would always sneak desserts into my room, and there were only specific ones that I would really like to sneak. So what kind of dessert or treat did you sneak into your bedroom? Let's go with Sumit.
So can you please repeat again the topic?
Sure. So what kind of sweet treat or dessert did you sneak into your room when you shouldn't be?
Obviously, something that I can put in my room and that is sweet is something that has to be wrapped around and should not spoil the bedroom. So that's chocolates that I keep with me, and I'm not allowed to eat too often because that releases the cortisol level, and that my wife being a health coach doesn't allow me to do that. That increases the insulin, and that basically helps. That basically increase the weight. So this is not I'm allowed to do. So chocolates are something that I can easily hide in my bedroom in various places, and that's something that I have. And most of my chocolates are eaten by my kids at these days. So I even have to still I do have to hide them, otherwise it will all be gone from my place. So that's about what I can actually hide with me, but that's now not possible with two kids around me. Over to you, Hope.
Thank you so much, Sumit. I know a lot of parents who have to do that, so you are not alone in hiding your candy from your kids. All right, so we do have traditional desserts in every country, as we were learning tonight. I'm curious about what your favorite traditional dessert is. Let's go to Deepika. What is your favorite traditional dessert?
Yeah, hi everyone. So my traditional dessert, so as I'm from India, so I love eating jalebi. So what is jalebi if I would have to explain for everybody? So these are bites and fried bites with a lot of sweet in it. And I love to eat jalebis, and whenever we are having any sort of function at home or at office also, everybody in my knows that I am the one who loves hot and cooked jalebis. And also apart from this, also I love almost I'm choosy, when it comes to food and sweets as well. I don't eat sweets, but a couple of my favorites are like maybe as gulab jamun, which is again, it is cooked with wheat and cream, and these are also again, so I avoid eating these. And recently I have found my love for Lindt chocolate when I travel to Europe, and especially in Poland, Warsaw, for my office trip. So these are the chocolates that I love, and I kind of find here in India as well, which are imported in some of the stores here in modern by modern. Yeah, a couple of desserts I love to eat. Over to you, and thank you for a lovely topic.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I love learning about different cultures and their own, of course, taste of desserts. So I appreciate that. I do have a message for Sumit. Apparently, a thank you for ruining desserts is in order. There's your message. All right, our next question. The best desserts come during holiday time. What holiday has the best desserts, and what's your favorite dessert in it? Let's go with Toastmaster Keith. What holiday has the best desserts and your favorite dessert because of it?
Well, we are approaching what most persons in my country would consider the best holiday, and that is Christmas. For some reason, the best cookies are baked during Christmas. I don't know if there's less sugar during the rest of the year or what, but during Christmas, the most tender, well, soft and sweet, I think we call them sugar cookies, are baked during Christmas. It seemed as if throughout the year, all of the cookies are overbaked, hard, and less delightful. So I look forward to those golden, creamy, it seems like they put a little bit extra cream in around Christmas time or milk. Those creamy, milky sugar cookies. I really enjoy them. I stock them in my fridge and I kind of eat them slow because I know that I may not see them again until next year. So I really enjoy sugar cookies. They're often in shapes of trees, some in shapes of bells, some shaped as Santa Claus. To be honest, I could care less about the actual, the shapes and the Santa Claus and all that. I'm just looking forward to the sugar cookies, to be honest, when Christmas comes around, and family, of course. So yeah, sugar cookies it is for me.
Awesome. I love it. I would agree. I always have like 5 different types of cookies I only make during Christmas time. I don't know why it is, but it's just Christmas time. And don't worry, I'll start shipping them out to India and Bahamas. All right. Finish this sentence. The best desserts are DTM Tracy Baker. Finish the sentence. The best desserts are
the best desserts are probably ones that none of you could afford. The best dessert, Madam Table Topics Master, is 6'1", 250 pounds of dark chocolate. Sexy dark chocolate, handsome dark chocolate. As a matter of fact, it tastes just like candy. It's like candy. I can see it when you walk. And the thing about it is, I know I must drive women crazy with my chocolate sexiness, my Denzel Washington looks, because I can just see and hear when I go on stage, oh my gosh, are you really him? Now, of course, this is all fantasy in my mind, but we all have nightmares and we all have sweet dreams. And our sweet dreams are made of this, all the chocolate in the world, all the confections in the world, everything that you can stop and think about, Madam Anna Whistler and fellow Toastmasters, is what we should have. The best desserts are ones that are forbidden, the ones that are exotic, the ones that you have to earn that you can't buy. And trust me, you can't buy the type of chocolate I'm going to give you. So with that being said, fellow Toastmasters, I would ask each and every one of you to figure out what it is that you hold sacred and near and dear to yourself, what you believe is sweet, because we should all have sweet love. I love you, baby. And you gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. That's why I poke fun at myself today about being such a handsome dark chocolate man. But I'll ask each and every one of you, in your life, you may not have all the sweetness, you may not have all the sugar you think because of the crazy sour COVID and all the craziness going on in our world. But I'll tell you right now, every single one of you should go out today and get yourself some dark chocolate. That's what the best dessert is in the world.
Thank you so much, DTM Tracy Baker. I believe that you had that rehearsed and practiced. You had music on cue, so great job on that. And I do agree, dark chocolate is the best dessert ever. All right. A friend asks for a bite of your dessert. What do you do? And why? Raj Mehta. A friend asks for a bite of your dessert. What do you do?
A friend is everyone in my life. If you will ask anything from me, I will definitely offer to share it. Because I think the relatives, be it brothers, sisters, father, parents, daughter, son, they are there for a limited period of your in your time, in your life. Because sometime they will go away, maybe due to some other relations, because daughter will go to other house, the son will go to other place after getting married, or maybe friends will also go sometime. But friends are there who will always be there with you. Because I think friend is something, when it's really deep friendship, it doesn't desire anything, it doesn't require anything. Only thing which is required in good friendship is help others, help your friend. And if some good friend asks me a bite from my desert, I will definitely say, why not, buddy, take it. I may refuse to Rupinder. Really? I think I spoke this sentence out of something else. So I cannot refuse Rupinder, but I can refuse somebody else. Not anybody in this meeting, but maybe somebody who is not in this meeting. I can refuse my daughter if she asks me a bite from my desert. I can refuse my son, I can refuse my wife, but I will not refuse Rupinder, because Rupinder is a friend. Thank you very much.
That's awesome. So Rupinder, next time you want a piece of dessert, you know who to ask. I love it. Thank you so much. Rupi does not share food. All right. Often we have controversies, Coke versus Pepsi, white versus dark. And that's the question I'm about to ask you. Chocolate versus vanilla. Which is the better option? Let's go with Surendra. Which is the better option? Chocolate or vanilla?
Thank you very much, Anna. Yes, my problem is I love both of them. And therefore, am I going to be biased choosing one of them? As we grew up, we were always told that don't have chocolates because you may have a tooth problem. And therefore, all the time as I grew up, the chocolates were never available to us. Maybe just a small teeny weeny bit would be given to me once in a while. And then I grew up. Well, metaphorically, I grew up. I don't know whether I have grown up as yet, but then I did grow up. And I thought I could have a binge with chocolates. And so I got onto it. And then one day, my mummy caught me having a lot of chocolates. And then he said, look at you. Have you realized that you put on so much of weight? And then the vanilla came on to me. To cut down on that weight, I started looking at vanilla as an option. But believe me, it's not a good option. But then, just to show everyone at home, I used to love having vanilla ice creams. And then I had ice creams, vanilla ice creams, third problem. Someone told me have a chocolate ice cream. That'll be good. So I started having chocolate ice creams. And then my tonsillitis blew up. And I had to go to the doctor to get it operated. And will you believe it? Even when I was recovering, what the doctor prescribed to me? Chocolate ice cream. So chocolate ice cream wins the day, any day for me. Thank you very much.
Great answer. That was insatiable. I appreciate that. I would agree. Chocolate ice cream wins, hands down. All right. Where is the best place to eat your dessert? I'm going to call on Pratima. Where is the best place to eat a dessert?
Okay, thank you, Anna, for that topic. And good morning and hello to everyone. The best place to eat a dessert is any place for a person who has a sweet tooth and for a person who's not conscious. and for a person who has an insatiable appetite for eating desserts. But personally, for me, the best place to eat a dessert would be my home. Not because I am conscious, not because I would not get desserts out anywhere else, but mainly for the reason that recently I have turned vegan. So, as a consequence of that, I do not get desserts freely everywhere because I need to make sure that my desserts are dairy free. And desserts and dairy free, these two things don't really go together, right? That's a common understanding being an Indian. So for me, if I need to have a dessert, it needs to be home cooked by myself, watching from YouTube and learning from YouTube, because that's what happens when one goes vegan. So thank you, and back to you, Anna.
Thank you so much. That was an awesome answer. I can absolutely appreciate that. So great piece. All right, Madam Timer, Hope Williams. I'm going to call on you on this one. You are in charge of creating a new ice cream flavor. It can be mixed with anything and be named whatever you please. Have at it.
Well, Anna Whistler. You always have the ability to dish out some insatiable table topics questions. Therefore, I'm ready to answer. I'm ready to create the flavor. Let's call it hope. Let's create a flavor of nuttiness, because not all nuts are bad nuts. Let's toast those nuts so we have a hint of full richness, and add a little caramel, because you want more of a dimension of flavor and color. Not too sweet. So let's add a hint of lime, just to cut and balance the flavors. And to tie it all together, let's add some texture. Let's add some texture like that crispy waffle cone that you get fresh baked from the ice cream shop. This is the hope. It's salty, slightly sweet, a little bit nutty. Oh, and the color is a beautiful shade of mahogany. Anna Whistler, I hand this insatiable question back to you.
Wonderful, well done. I'm definitely hungry for some ice cream now. All right. They say that desserts match your personality. So according to your personality, what's your dessert? Kushbu. They say personalities match desserts. So what is your personality's dessert?
They say personalities match desserts. Desserts are a combination of sugar, sweetness, and that sugar, the refined sugar, is often leading to diseases. So a dessert which will match my personality is chocolate mousse, because I am as soft as chocolate mousse and sometimes I'm as grainy as chocolate mousse. The softness that chocolate mousse gives you in your mouth and the way it melts in your mouth, I'm very soft when you cuddle me, when you hug me. You will get the warmth of my personality when you hug me. You will get the warmth of my personality when you come to my home, because you will be given 100% freedom to do whatever you feel like. Enjoy your meal, have great drinks, and feel comfortable. And chocolate mousse also has those grainy texture, and that texture makes my personality little bit of grainy. When you mess up with me, I start avoiding you, and I start keep a safe distance from you. So a dessert which makes my personality really evident to the world is chocolate mousse. Over to you, Toastmaster Anna.
Perfect. And you described it so insatiably that now I'm hungry for chocolate mousse myself. All right. Rupinder, you haven't had a question yet. What is one ingredient that you cannot miss when making brownies?
All right, all of you are going to hate me for this, but I do not mind the hatred because the ingredient that I'm going to take the name of will make you go, ah, but it's all the fine to me because I love it. And because I love it and because you hate it, I can have it all to myself. Madam Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and very distinguished guests. The flavor that I'm talking about is coffee. Coffee in a brownie, and I can see Anna making faces already. Coffee in a brownie, I would say coffee anywhere. Coffee in ice cream, coffee in brownie, coffee in cake, coffee in a pastry, coffee in even a chocolate mousse for that matter. You see, I love the coffee flavor so much. There was a time when I would sneak in coffee candy into my room. I did analysis to why it happened. I went to the root cause. Turns out that I was caught while unwrapping. It made noise, and my mother has very sharp ears. So, process improvement. I removed all the wrappers before I went inside the room. That is how much I love coffee. If I apply that sort of operational excellence in my life, I would be a very rich and a very well-to-do person. So the answer to your question, Madam Topics Master, what would I like in my brownie? Well, what would I like in any dessert? Is coffee. Now I know you will hate me for it, but hey, I am an insatiable coffee fan. Back at you, Topics Master.
Thank you, Droopy. I don't know that I'm completely on board with that, but I like the answer. All right, I believe that is everyone. It has been an honor and a pleasure to hear all of your different points of desserts. I will read Deanna's answer at this point as well. 1 week, I eat dressers, insatiables of rice pudding with chocolate sauce. Insatiable. And I love to eat that rice pudding, insatiable. Best sauced, so sweet. Oh, just disappeared. Hold on. So sweet, insatiable. I feel, enjoy, dresser, insatiable, with fall in love, that rice pudding in my stomach. Very, so good. Great job, Deanna. With that, I will turn it back to you, our Toastmaster of the day, Alyssa.
Thank you so much, Anna, for those insatiable, delectable, and sweet table topic questions. I think it was the time for all of us to enjoy the second round of desserts. And before we go on to our third round, because it's all sweets with us this morning, and I know you're going to hate me. Oh, yes. And let's vote for our best table topic speaker. Are these all of them?
Now we're going to have them in 2 rounds. We actually had more than 10. So we're going to have 2 rounds of
Excellent.
We'll have 2 sets of winners today.
I was about to say Rupi was trying to set people up.
You guys hate coffee in desserts.
Let's let's have our vote and see who you thought was the best table topic speaker. It's a challenge to decide, but this is your chance, your moment to express your opinion. And for round number 2. Decisions.
Spotlight.
Rupinder, I did not see your name on there.
His name didn't need to be.
No one wants coffee in all of their desserts, so it's okay.
I'm not sharing.
Okay, I'm going to assume that everybody was able to choose who they thought were the best table topic speakers, and I hope that you had a delectable time. And I know what you're thinking. Elisa, stop with the audience participation. But I mean, we just have two more final desserts. I would like to hear your opinion where you think they're from. Dessert number 7. If you have any energy left to use your fingers to type in the chat, do let me know. Where do you think this dessert is from? No. Okay, if you don't want to type, that's fine. Just answer in your mind. Just answer in your mind and I'll tell you if you got it right or not, okay? Okay, I'm gonna assume everybody answered in their mind. Oh, thank you, Keith from Scotland. Germany, Vienna, Mexico. You guys are amazing. Check your emails later for the gift cards I promised, in case we got to this point. Okay. Russia. Oh my goodness. If you said Russia, you're correct. Medovik is a popular Russian layered honey cake consisting of honey-infused almond biscuit-like sponges that are coated with thin layers of cream. Are you not just dying right now? It is believed that the cake first appeared in the 1820s and was initially created for the wife of Alexander I of Russia. At this moment, I'd really like to be his wife. If you want to create a dessert for me, I will take it. And last, I promise, very, very last one. I know at this point, you're dying. But it's this one, torrón. Can you guess where this dessert is from? I will give you a hint. I used to eat it as a child, but don't get too confused. Iran, someone said? Spain? Okay. It's a little tricky. Puerto Rico. Good one. By the way, while you're typing in the chat, I looked up cheesecake, and it turns out that most websites attribute cheesecake to Greece. If you had guessed Greece for cheesecake, you were right. Italy, says Pratima. Michigan. Okay, lots of great guesses. And the answer is Italy. I thought it would have been from Spain too. We do eat it in Spain. But torrón is Italian nugget, traditionally made with toasted almonds. And the nugget is believed to have been brought to Italy during the Arab rule. But even now, if you go to Spain or if you go to Puerto Rico, you can find this during Christmas time. And this has always been a family favorite. So if you had asked me that question, Anna Whistler, this dessert would have been my response. And in fact, I would like to share the link if you would like to try some in Amazon. Go ahead and purchase some for yourself. It's delicious. Time tested, I promise. It's really great. But having gone over a few more sweet desserts, it's time to move on to our last treat for this evening, which are the evaluations. You could say they're the cherry on top, because where would we be without evaluations to help us understand how we've done in our meeting and what can be improved? And I know what the general evaluator is thinking. Elisa, fewer audience participation. I got it. Okay. On to the agenda for this morning, and we're going to call our general evaluator, Sumit Juneja. Sumit, over to you.
Thank you, Elisa, for such a start of great Wednesday morning filled with a lot of desserts. And we have now the next desserts coming up in the form of an evaluation by Khushbu Chokhani, and she would be evaluating the speech of Rupinder Singh. To you, Khushbu.
Don't get mad, don't get even. Change the game. What an apt message and a motivating story, Toastmaster Rupinder, you have given me at the beginning of the day. The faces of the audience clearly gave me an assumption that they completely resonated with the message, because we often get entangled in petty struggles of our daily life. A great opening by using the word imagine has taken the audience completely into the visual imagery of the story. Great facial expressions of both your manager and yours, especially write a 10-page long story. How do I do that? Has made the audience felt the anger of your manager and the irritation that you were facing at that point of time. You have spoken once that you don't understand voice variety in terms of tone and pitch, but today in your speech you have clearly established the anger and irritation and sarcasm of your manager and you by bringing a great voice variety. Further, I have 3 recommendations which you may consider to use in your next speech to make the message effectively infused in the minds of the audience. You could have one is stage direction. If you could have this Zoom box, which is rectangular in shape, gives us 4 corners. If you could have stand and become the manager and watch the camera by watching it directly, like diagonally in the right side, and being yourself by horizontally, diagonally, the message, the stage direction could have been effectively delivered. Second, from the beginning of your speech till the end, I have seen your hands moving, going up and down, and sometimes you were moving your hands unnecessarily. In Toastmasters level 3, we have a project called effective body language. And even in theater, we have learned what is marked movement. Because an unmarked movement takes away the attention of your audience from the great content. And if you can use marking your movement by practicing the speech more effectively, you can establish this great motivating content effectively into the hearts of your audience. Third and final recommendation, this great motivational content, like don't get mad and don't spend time uh, in daily struggles of your life, at the end which you repeated, if you could have asked the audience to stand up and take a vow or do something, an action oriented game, the audience will remember the message even after the end of the meeting, because a great motivational content which is delivered effectively has to stay in the hearts of the minds. And with reduced attention span because of the digital world, we need to give our audience an action packed activity at the end to make the message delivered more effectively. With that, having said that, your speech has reminded me not to waste time in petty struggles of daily life. And with great content, facial expression, and voice variety, and with marked movement, effective stage direction, you are definitely going to move the hearts and minds of more and more audiences at international level. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Sumit.
Thank you, Khushbu. With this, we move on to the evaluation section. So I will give my evaluation of the speech evaluator and then the table topics. Just give me a minute. Perfect. So what I figure out in the evaluation done by Khushbu, you started with a great energy level, and I could figure out that you had a remarkable improvement in terms of the hissing sound that sometimes comes from your mic. And this time there was, in the beginning, towards the beginning of the speech, you did show a remarkable improvement. But as we move along towards the end of the speech, I figured out that you are back to your original self. So I think that you are putting up great efforts on that particular front, and it will show result as we do more such evaluations and as we go along. That's point number one. And a lot of energy that was there throughout the evaluation. And I would say that in terms of the message to Bluecast, your message was perfect in terms of the way you have followed the CRC approach and you gave the right justification to your evaluation. Now moving on to the table topics, just give me- starting with the table topic that Anna gave to Amit, cake or a floss. Amit said floss or all over the cake. That puts us into thinking mode. That's something I would call a great start. We wanted to listen a little bit more from Amit, and we were enjoying the topic, and then the topic ends. So I would suggest that we should keep the momentum on. I myself have started with the topic. I said what was coming to my mind. I was not structured in terms of the content of my table topic. Deepika Sohal has done a good job of coming up on that particular topic, and it was great. Neat Brian, the best holiday and the best desserts, creamy milky sugar cookies. I could literally feel those creamy milky sugar cookies in my mouth because of the expressions that were there by Keith. And I will probably like to wanted to have that at that particular point of time, and that's a compliment for you. uh, Tracy Baker, I don't know how you did it, but you were so to the point, and the music was so appropriate, and I was enjoying my day with that kind of a music, and you were full of expression, lot of energy, and I want to learn from you the art of marrying the music with the topic. That's something that we all should learn from you. That's something I have seen for the first time in my table topic journey. Raj, friends, ask for a bite of your dessert. I know you will certainly give it to us. And Rupinder, you can certainly go to Raj, and I will join you for sure when we want desserts next time. Sharendra, which is a better option, chocolate or a vanilla? You did justice. You put a complete storyline, and then you choose finally something in the end. And that's something giving a story out of the comparison that which came out very, very well. Pratima, the best place to eat dessert is your home. Well, home, sweet home. I would say that someday I will surely join you. We live nearby, and it was came out very well. Yes, home could be one of the best place to have desserts. Hope, new ice cream flavor invented by Hope in the name of hope. Amazing. That's something I would watch the video again, would probably try it out and see what the flavor could look like for sure. And the story went very well, and it could give us some hope that yes, this recipe which you have narrated so well in your table topic could be a amazing one. We'll try. I would recommend everybody to try and then see what comes out. Khushbu, your personality, your desserts. You gave some warnings also in between when you were suggesting this, that what the desserts and that that flavors, and that you can, it will look more why the personality is matching. That warning is well accepted, but certainly probably me and Rupinder would like to come to your place and have those smoothies with you. Yeah. And we have Blue Quest in, and Blue Quest is Rupinder. uh, what you like is what you would like to put in your desserts. Rupinder, I'm sorry that I would not join you. I am not a big fan of coffee in all the sweets. So, but I know you have a sadist attitude towards not sharing your food. So that's okay. I understand that. Great. And that's all on the evaluation of the topics. Uh, And after this, we have our reports from our tag team. For that, I would like to invite our grammarian Pratima to present her report.
Thank you so much, Sumit. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So before I give my report, I just want to mention a note over here, and that is that the theme was super interesting, that is desserts. And I sometimes actually got zoned out because of the enthusiasm of all the speakers. So please pardon me if I'm not able to really pinpoint a lot of things because I got like super engrossed and I just missed on taking a lot of notes, though I did my part. Okay, so we will begin with the TMOD of the day. That was Elisa. So Elisa, I believe that you did a commendable job with your role. You were very interactive and you used rich and a lot of visual vocabulary. Your intonation was apt. They were great highs and they were great lows in terms of your language. You used the word of the day, which was insatiable, 7 times. And the good thing is that your pronunciation for all the desserts was apt, despite them being from different countries, from different regions. You got it apt, except for just one, which we as Indians are very familiar of, which is kheer. So yeah, that was the one. Moving on and talking about the speaker of the day. So speaker of the day, Rupinder, your speech was pretty engaging and you again had rich vocabulary, some great vocabulary usages by you were pensively, don't get mad, don't get even, change the game. We think our ego, we think our need to be right. So I believe this repetition made an impact on the audience and it drew your audience more to your speech. So this was the language aspect. I wish I could also comment on the speech aspect of every speaker over here, but since I'm playing the role of the grammarian, I have to strictly stick to the language aspect. So that was the note for me. Now, moving on to the other role players and talking about the table topic master, Anna. Anna, I believed you had a very pleasant persona to your entire session. The vocabulary was apt and there was great intonation by you. You used the word of the day, which was insatiable, 3 times. Now, moving on and talking about our table topic speakers. Speaker Amit, you started the speech with a question which was, if you asked me. And you had one great usage of language, which was complement that fact. Speaker Diana, you had an extremely visual sentence, which was rice pudding with chocolate sauce. So when we use language like this, we are able to imagine. So it becomes really visual. And you use the word of the day 6 times. Speaker Sumit, your language was appropriate. Speaker Deepika, again, your language was appropriate, but due to some technical issues, I couldn't make detailed notes. Speaker Keith, your language was extremely visual and you used a lot of synonyms as well. You used words like creamy, milk, soft, tender, thereby giving a nice appeal to the language aspect. Speaker Tracy, well, I was mostly laughing in your speech, but I did take notes of some excellent vocabulary by you, which was forbidden, exotic, the one you have to earn. Now, Speaker Raj, again, your language was apt, but I thought the word of the day for you was not insatiable, but it was Rupinder. Okay, moving on. Speaker Surendra, you had some rich words to your usage. For example, grew up metaphorically, binge with chocolates, so on. Speaker Hope, again, I think today, one thing with all the speakers is that everyone had a very rich and visual vocabulary. So that you're going to be hearing a lot of those words from me. So speaker hope, again, great emphasis on pause, great intonation, sweet, nutty, beautiful shade of mahogany. Great words over there. Speaker Khushbu, again, same thing, very visual vocabulary, greeny texture, combination of sweetness and sugar. I can see the timer is showing me the yellow card, so I'll just quickly wrap up. And Speaker Rupinder, well, you easily conveyed your love for coffee, and we know how we have to win Rupinder's heart. Now everyone knows it. It's out there. So coffee in brownie, coffee in ice cream, coffee in chocolate, coffee in everything. I think this made and like a really good impact. Like, okay, moving on, evaluator Khushbu. As an evaluator, I thought the intonation was commendable, and we also learned a new word from you, which is a marked movement. So this was my report, and back to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pratima, for this wonderful grammarian report. It seems that you are paying attention to both the deserts as well as the usages. And now I would like to invite our counter of the day, who is Shorendra. Welcoming Shorendra. Over to you, Shorendra.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. I would like to share the screen here because I have had the opportunity. Is the screen being seen properly, sir? Yeah, thank you very much. So we started the innings today with our Sergeant at Arms, Rupinder, and I caught him doing 1 hour and 1 repetition, that is 2 as a total thing. I have Sumit Juneja as the PO, and he had 6 hours. Alyssa, I did not catch you the whole day today, and you were excellent. Rupinder, as a speaker, had 1 pause and 1 hour, which is excellent, I thought, with the type of speech that you gave us. Sumit, you had 1 so and 1 I mean, along with 3 hours, which made 5 fillers that you had to use, or our counter's report shows that. Sumit Jadeja, as your table topic, you had excuse me, 7 hours, and Deepika, you had 4 you knows, 2 likes, 2 so's, and 7 hours. Keith, you had you know once and 1 hour. Tracy, the music was so good that only 1 hour, or I beg your pardon, 1 ya at the end of your speech came through. Raj, sir, you were absolutely brilliant with your hour. There's only 1 hour that I caught you with, and this is an amazing improvement. I guess I had 2 hours, so I would want that I should put 2 hours here, because that's what I thought I did, and I missed it out earlier. Pratima, you had 1 right, 1 like, and 1 okay as the filler words, and unintended fillers were 1 hour, 1 Hope, I didn't catch you with anything there. Khushbu, you have 2 hours when you were doing your table topics and 1 repetition. Rupinder, again, you were absolutely brilliant. As a GE, Sumit, you had 17 hours across the whole time that you were talking about the evaluation, and Khushbu, you had 6 hours as you went along. Meanwhile, when I have just done my report, I have had 3 hours. With that, my our counter's report is over, and I hand over the stage to you, our general evaluator, Sumit Juneja. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharendra, for this detailed report. A lot of learning from this report today, and one of my own learning is that I would practice the general evaluation role much more, many times and much more in detail. Reason being that I think a lot to do this role because I myself figure out that which one will come next and which one will not come next, and I get confused out there, and that's why I use so many hours. So that's great learning from your report. Now we have with us our timer, Hope Williams. Hope, would you please take over the stage?
Yes, thank you, Sumit. In the chat, I have posted all insatiable timings for all speakers today. We were only graced with one speaker, which would be Rupi. Let me just refer to Rupi's time. I was hoping he could go over so I could just red light him. However, that was not the case today. Rupi was within time. All of our table topic speakers were also within time, and our only speaker that went over time was maybe Pratima, but I enjoyed hearing what you were saying, Pratima, so I'm going to give you the green light, and you did not go over. Outside of that, today is without a beautiful presentation because I wanted to grace the stage as the dessert that I am. Therefore, this is my insatiable timings report. All timings, once again, are posted in the chat, and I have enjoyed, savored, and remember this insatiable, sweet evening. I will now turn the control of the meeting to the General Evaluator, Sumit.
A lot of learnings that we can take from Hope's timer report. And she is very, very expressive with a lot of things and has invented a dessert today in the name of Hope. Amazing at Hope, amazing, great. And with this, we are towards our evaluation of the complete meeting. We had a last minute change in the general evaluator today, and that leaves me with the role of general evaluation, and that's why Elisa did her role perfectly well, stating the calling the tag team, because this is as per the agenda, and the word insatiable was completely in line with the just give me time. Was completely in line with the theme of the day. That's amazing. And I believe all the topics of table topics today was also amazing and in line with the theme. And we started with Sergeant and Arm report, then went a little overboard that I could see in terms of total time that we took there. And then from the beginning, we missed certain minutes, but overall we are running on time. With this, I see that little bit of preparation in terms of forming agenda, and that's something I'm facing some difficulties over the last few weeks, that we had do some last minute changes in the agenda, and that's why sometimes we don't do a good job on that front. Otherwise, everything was great. And with this, I would like to hand over to Toastmaster of the day, Elisa Schneider, for the closing comments.
Thank you so much, Sumit, our general evaluator, for taking charge of that last section of what I hope has been a series of desserts in your morning to try and get you going in your day. Because life, well, let's just say it. Let's just be real and honest about it. Life is short. Why not eat dessert first? That's exactly what we've done this morning, I hope. And I now think we are prepared for what's left. Well, for me, what's left of this day, for you, what's left for all of your day. And also consider this. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy cake. And it's kind of the same thing. If you've not had any dessert this morning, do go buy yourself some. A little bit of happiness goes a long way. And of course, ultimately, stressed is desserts spelled backwards. I hope that today you have found a way to de-stress, decompress, be energized, and eat your desserts first. This has been a delight to be your Toastmaster. I look forward to seeing you again next week. And with that, I would like to hand the meeting back over to our presiding officer. Is that Sumit Juneja? Yes? Excellent. Sumit Juneja, over to you.
Thank you so much, Alisa. It's a wonderful meeting, and I would certainly have some dessert today, and that's for sure. I'm feeling hungry. It's morning in India, and I haven't had my breakfast yet. So you can understand what I'll do next after this meeting. We have some of the amazing guests with us today. We have Diana with us. Would like to hear from Diana if she has some feedback for our meeting that gone by.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We have with us our next guest, Neat Brian, and we want to hear some feedback from him. Neat, anything for us today?
Thank you.
Yes, it's good to be back again in India. I enjoyed it, and I am now craving for some Indian treats. Alyssa, I have put that treat in my cart. So it was, I'm not sure if that one was from India, but I'll find out when I get it because I definitely will be getting that. That was such an interesting flair to actually give us a product to buy. You should get sponsored by that company. But everyone did a great job today, and it's always good to be in India.
We welcome you for our future meetings. Need to come all over again and again and again. We have with us our very own Raj Mehta. Would like to hear something from you as well.
Thank you, Sumit, for inviting me. Yes, I missed the meeting, the major part of it. I joined when the table topic session was already going on. I also thank Anna for inviting me, for giving me a topic of my choice. I felt, though I had not heard the speech, but I felt that the evaluation done by Pushpu was quite amazing, and I could see improvement in her evaluation tactics. Overall, I felt that I have really missed it because when I felt that I had missed many deserts or many questions from Elisa, and then I was just going and to the last question, I was going to give the answer that it was Italy. You had disclosed it. Overall, I think it must have been a good meeting because I see that everybody has a smiling face. And thank you very much. And yes, I'm sorry for that. I could not take the role today because of the timing. Because timing of this meeting is at 8 o'clock, and at that time I'm too much busy, and it really becomes difficult for me to join at that time. When it was 8:30, I was able to join it, and I was able to attend the whole meeting. So I do not know, but let's see what happens in the future. Thank you.
It's a sweet morning filled with lots of desserts, and it's an amazing start to the day. And with this, we close our meeting. before time, we have 5 minutes in our hand. I would like to take, and we have certain announcement that I did in the beginning. I'm doing it again for those who have joined in the late. We have some table topic, we have some, Rupinder, if you can please announce in the end, I forgot all those details. I would like to take the, in the meanwhile, while Rupinder, you share with us the awards.
I'm ready with the certificates. Let's do the certificates and then we can take the roles.
Sure. Please
Okay.
go ahead.
For those of you who were wondering, this is what jalebi looks like. Take a good hard look at it, people. It is one of my favorite desserts and that does not have coffee in it. Here's a fun fact. If you have a sore throat, you take this, you dip it in milk and you have it. And by next morning, your sore throat will be a thing of the past. Of course, you will gain a lot of calories because this is very rich. This is basically what you see inside that and what you see covering it is actually sugar syrup. So, so this is one. The other one was gulab jamun. This is it. Not my favorite. Don't like it much. Doesn't have coffee anyway, so totally dislike it. But let's move on to our winners for today. And as always, I had this brainwave. I decided to do table topics in 2 different batches. And I said, okay, let's have 2 different, we'll run 2 different polls. Hopefully it works out. Let's see how we did in round 1, the third best speaker in round 1. Amit Tandon, many congratulations. Thank you for coming to the meeting. Great job. Blah, 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 blah. All right. The second best speaker, Deanna McEnroy. Good job with that topic. And the first one was our DJ. I'm sorry, not our DJ. Was was 6.5-inch dark chocolate man. Okay, I don't know, but Tracy Baker, congratulations. Yeah, that was for Tracy, but thank you, Deanna. Okay, you're welcome, Deanna. Then the best table topic speaker from round 2, we have the third best one as Raj Mehta. It does pay to come to the meeting after all. You walk away with a certificate. The second best speaker is a dessert that doesn't have coffee, but it does have hope. So congratulations, Hope Williams. The best table topic speaker, you know what? Coffee wins. So, just deal with it. Coffee wins. Thank you very much for the applause that I'm not seeing. The best auxiliary role player today went to our timer, Hope Williams. Super job keeping the time, Hope. Although Pratima did give you a very close fight for it. In fact, it was almost like you were trading punches till the end. But then you beat her out by just 1 vote. Thinnest of margins. And our best role player, well, she ran away with it. But that's what happens when you have a theme like dessert. You might as well give her the award and then decide who gets it next. But many congratulations, Alisa Schneider. So that is it from my side. Now, as far as the contests are concerned, I am participating in table topics contest tomorrow, which is at Central Florida Facilitators. So that will be at 6:30 Eastern Time. Anna is participating in her evaluation speech contest division finals. That will be, I think, around 6 o'clock, but that will be on Friday. She's shared the URL. I will share the URL with you. And then Alisa and Hope will be participating their Saturday, our Sunday, in table topics and humorous speech contests, respectively. We've not had a humorous speech contest in 3 years, so that will be a refreshing change. So that will be something to watch out for. Now so those were the announcements. We also have a cause for celebration. One of our members, Anna Whistler, she just got promoted. Let's have a round of applause for her. Congratulations, Anna. And Alisa got selected. Whether she takes up the job or not is a different thing, but she did get selected for a job. So let's have a round of applause for her as well. So good news all around in the in Blue Quest. Guess we should miss a couple more meetings to have some really good news. No, I'm kidding. Do not miss meetings. This is where I'm going to stop the recording.